Hello, everybody. All right, Stephanie Grams here, sewpreneur. I help sewing enthusiasts go from hobbyist to sewing business owner or sewpreneur, right? We've talked about that before. As always, you can go to sewpreneur.com to get your free newsletter and to learn about all the upcoming classes and uh, learning how to take your sewing skills and actually make a business out of that. And so we're just going to continue on some of the talk that we've started back in March. And it's just about finding customers. That seems to be the biggest hurdle for those in my groups. But I think we're missing the boat on realizing why we can't necessarily find customers. And so there's a couple things we're just going to go back over today. Um, so just maybe make a mental checklist or, grab something to write with and keep some notes and just kind of do a self assessment to see if you can kind of pinpoint why you're having trouble finding customers or connecting with them, because we all know that when you're a business owner, it's your responsibility to find the customers, to connect with them, not necessarily expect them to find you on their own. So keep that in mind whenever you listen to any of the videos that I talk about. Now, the one way, obviously, to find a customer is through word of mouth marketing. And that is through the friends and family and past customers that you've serviced. If they share your business with their friends, that's usually the best type of customer to get. That some people build their entire business on word of mouth marketing, but you can kind of run out of possible customers if that is the only way that you're relying on customers to come to you, right? So keep that in mind. It is really important to have the word of mouth marketing, but you can't just have one way to connect with your sewing customers. Um, if you do a quick research online, type in like 20-mile radius from your zip code. So if your zip code was 12345, you would type in 20-mile radius of your 12345 zip code and type in, say, memory bears. That's one of the many ways you can search your competitors and see who is close to you in the market that you serve. So if you are trying to build your sewing, and I always go with memory bears because that's really who most of my followers are are memory bear makers and sentimental sewing business owners. Then what you want to do is see who is directly around you. So if you want to service customers within a 20-mile radius of your zip code, then type in 20-mile radius. If you want to expand your search for the entire state that you live in, then you could also just type in your state and memory bear sewing or sewing services, that kind of thing. I noticed a lot of memory bear makers do not have an actual website. So below is a link to the domain name purchaser that I purchased through and the hosting that I purchased. They are affiliate links. If you do make a purchase on those links, they pay me a little bit. I think it's like a couple bucks for referring business to them. Um, so I use my domain name is purchased through Namecheap. Sometimes I'll purchase through GoDaddy, but I don't have their affiliate link. I don't really like dealing with GoDaddy for various reasons, but Namecheap has always been really simple to work with. Great individuals. I've just That's who I prefer for my domain names. And then for my hosting, it's Mom Webs, and I've been with them pretty much since 2006, I believe. Scott and Kelly um, definitely are top notch when it comes to helping you with your website and all the nuisance that comes with that. So, nuances. Pardon me as I drink my decaf coffee here. Um, so get online, right? Don't rely on Facebook um, as your website. And that is one of the biggest reasons you probably are lacking in customers is because you are relying on social media or a free website to help you reach customers. And I say this all the time. Um, you don't own the free websites, like Wix. They offer a free version. I think Shopify might. I don't know all of them. WordPress has a free and a paid one, but if it's free, like social media or the website, Wix, one of those, they do serve a purpose. I'm not saying that they don't. And it's very, they they offer you a great advantage when used properly. Um, but if that's your main website, that is not going to serve you well when it comes to ranking and being found by your customers. And it's because you don't own them, right? You don't own that platform. Um, when you own your platform, you can go behind the scenes, like behind it's called a Cpanel, and you can manipulate the keywords and location and things like that, so you can stand out above, from your competitors. So keep that in mind. That maybe number one, you don't have a website, or maybe you're using a free website or social media instead of a website. So those could be two issues why you don't have customers or a large customer base. A number three, I guess, would be is lack of word of mouth marketing. Um, if you're new and just starting out, you may not have a customer, and that could be why you're frustrated. You need a customer to even talk about yourself, your sewing and that. So, how do you get around that, right? If you don't have a customer and you're trying to get your customer, how do you get to the point where you have a customer, especially when you're starting out? So, if that's where you're at, write this down. Be your first customer. Wear what you sew, all right? Use what you sew, display what you sew. If you look at any of my old videos, you'll see memory bears. I had memory bears behind me. My art dolls were always behind me because I wanted everyone to see what it is I could make and sell. Now, today, because I'm in a condo for a few weeks, I did not bring those with me. All my stuff is still in Ohio in storage. And I'm in South Carolina right now. So obviously, I can't display what I made. But if you go through my old videos, you'll see in the background, I always had my items displayed behind me. So be your first customer, display what you make, right? Um, you could film yourself live. I'm talking live, so there will be no edits on this video. But film yourself. Go on TikTok or an Instagram reel or live. If I don't even know if they have live anymore with Instagram. But anyways, wherever you can go live, show yourself making your product. Because guess what? People are going to say, "Oh, she's live. She's making this." Um, Sorry, I gotta wipe my screen off. Um, Show that you're real, that you really know what you're doing. All right. You could make some items and give them as gifts and ask the person, if you have a sibling or a parent or a grandparent, somebody that you're close to, say, hey, you know what? I know you're on social media. I want to gift this to you. Could you go and talk about how I gifted this item to you and that I provide these services? Make sure that they disclose that it was a gift. All right. Just so you are on the up and up, you're honest about your business dealings. All right, so that's like several tips on finding customers, right? Um, let's let's move on. All right, so what about your website? Let's say you have a website. Maybe you can only afford the free website. Then by all means, get a free website. At least having a website is better than not having any website. But I just would put it on your goals to purchase your domain name and purchase your hosting versus renting it. All right. It's always best to own. Um, get your newsletter set up. Now, there's freebies. One is super simple. I don't always recommend it, but if you're just starting out and budget, you'll have like $0 to work with. Use Hello Bar, HELLOBAR.com, and I used that for a very long time on different websites that I have. It was super simple to add. Um, but I have moved on to Word, or what is it called? MailChimp. MailChimp, CHIMP, MailChimp. Um, they do offer a free version. I now have MailChimp on all of my websites because eventually I'm going to upgrade to the paid versions. But right now, I just use their free. I don't need to pay for any right now because I don't have like, it's like 2,000 subscribers or 5,000 or something like that. I don't have that number of newsletter subscribers right now, but they also have really nice other freebies like landing pages. I use their landing pages. It's free. Just don't go in debt trying to build your company. That's what I'm saying. Find products that maybe offer a free um, option like MailChimp. That way you can grow with it as your business grows. So keep that all in mind. Now, other reasons maybe you don't have customers could include that you don't talk to enough people. And I've noticed in the sewing community that most of us are introvert when it comes to marketing ourselves. And maybe you can relate to that. Maybe you feel like you don't want to toot your own horn or be considered somebody that brags, but there's really no reason why you should feel that way. Sewing is a skill that is needed. And if you don't talk about your abilities in sewing, who is going to do that? So sometimes you need to be your own cheerleader and talk about your sewing and get comfortable with talking about what you offer. Now, I'm not saying you have to try to sell something to everybody, but everybody that knows you should know that you sew, is basically what I'm saying. Um, you can do that without being braggy or, you know, you know, I was taught something a long time ago, and I taught all of my daughters this. And so I'm going to teach it to you, and you probably have heard it. But you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So just go out there, be you, talk about your skills, show people your skills. Like I said, put your items on display behind you. Go live, show them how you sew. Answer questions. Obviously, people are going to ask you questions. They may be asking questions on how they can get started in their own business, or asking you for a little tip on how to sew their own item. Don't be afraid to answer questions. That doesn't mean that you have to answer your secrets questions. We all have our own little trade secrets within our sewing community. I'm not saying give away your secrets. What I'm saying is just show yourself social, kind, approachable, uh, interested in what is being said to you. If one thing we've learned since late 2019 is people are starving for affection and attention. They are starving for real relationships and communicating with other people. And you may get somebody on your live that has no interest in what you're sewing, but yet you sent a smile over the screen and you showed yourself approachable or kind. And maybe they just show up every time you go live just so they could hear your voice and know, you know what, there's somebody that is kind on the other side of the screen. Eventually, that can produce customers. Believe it or not, it just works that way, honestly. All right. So let's say that you already have your website and you know all this stuff. You're like, Stephanie, I already know all of this. Move on. So we're going to move on. Do you use Pinterest? or Instagram to show pictures of your work. I have had a slight addiction to Pinterest since my sister-in-law Lori introduced it to me like 100 years ago. Okay, maybe not that long ago, but when it first came out, right? And sorry about hitting the computer, by the way, but I've been slightly addicted to that ever since. And it wasn't until recently, like I've really been using it for my business. And even though it has not produced sales for me, it has increased my newsletter subscribers and it has brought web traffic to my website. And I get all that information free through my Cpanel. So if you own your domain name and you pay for your hosting, definitely look inside your Cpanel and see where your web traffic is coming from. That way you can either pay more attention to your marketing efforts in that area or learn where it's coming from and see what you can change, if you know what I'm saying. Let's see here. Customers, some of them read the newspaper and others don't. So you need to decide what your customers are reading. Are they reading a local newspaper? Are they reading certain magazines? Are they watching YouTube channels, listening to a podcast? Really get into the mind of your customer. So what are they reading? What are they watching? Where are they searching online? Where do they hang out? Um, Several months ago, I gave a whole list to my newsletters subscribers on finding customers, connecting with them in a meaningful way. And if you really are struggling with customers, that means that you aren't doing something because there are plenty of customers and there's plenty of money. Believe it or not, there is plenty of money to go around. Uh, if you watch the news, you're not led to believe that, but people are becoming millionaires daily. They really are. So get in front of your customers, decide where they are. If you are, how do I say this? I sometimes I start using like technical words or marketing stuff, and I'm trying not to do that to you guys. If you are thinking of your perfect customer, if you go down in my playlist a few days ago, we talked about your customer persona. If you've done that homework, you should have a crystal clear picture of who it is that is your perfect customer. If you did not do that homework, this may not make sense to you. So definitely do that homework for yourself. But I'm going to talk to you. If you've already decided who your perfect customer is, then you should picture them every time you sit down to get online. Every blog post you post, every article you write, if you're a guest blogger, if you are being interviewed, always picture that perfect customer because that makes it easier for you to speak directly to them. They may not be actually in front of you physically, like um, in a networking meeting or anything like that, but you can gear everything you say to that one person. So please get very clear on who your perfect customer is. Otherwise, you are going to have your marketing dollars or arrows flying all over the place. You're going to waste money. You're spinning your wheels. You'll never get what it is that you want out of your business. If you sell scrunchies and you think every woman with long hair is going to want a scrunchie, you're wrong. It's just not how that works. But if you know exactly the age, um, even ethnicity, you will know what fabric you're using, how it's going to affect their hair. Do they like the satin scrunchie, or do they like bamboo fabric scrunchies, or do they like polyester? Do they like stretchy comfort? I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, it's kind of like a Spanx material. What is it that they like? Because I can tell you, um, My daughters all wear scrunchies, but they all wear different types of scrunchies, different fabric. One daughter doesn't care what it's made out of. She just throws it in her hair. If it fits, she wears it. But then I have another daughter that will only touch the more of a satin because she doesn't want her hair breaking because she has thick, fine hair. Another daughter prefers the athletic stretch type of scrunchie, so really definitely know your customer. You might say, well, everybody can use a memory bear. That's not true. And not everybody that's wants a memory bear is actually searching for a memory bear, because a lot of the customers don't realize that they can have a dinosaur made, or a dog made, or a whale, or a crab or turtle. They don't realize that you can sew a quote memory bear, but they don't want the teddy bear. They want a different animal. You know what I'm saying? So really do your homework, do your due diligence. If you have to take a whole week and decide who your customer is, then take that week off, um, and decide who it is. Right? There's never going to be a wrong answer. You know who you like to talk to. You know who you have a connection with. The your competitor up the street. I'm going to guess that they are not going to go after the same customer as you. All right. So you might own or offer similar services. Uh, that doesn't mean it's the same customer. If you look around, if that was the case, why would we have literally in one plaza here? We have TJ Maxx, we have Walmart, we have Marshalls. What is it? We have Belk. There's two other ones. No, there's like three other ones. They all sell clothes. Like they are literally all in a row. So it's the same thing for you with your memory bear business or your scrunchie business. You can offer the same type of product, similar product, but that doesn't mean you're going to speak to all the same customers. So really don't play it small. Don't doubt your abilities. Don't doubt that your business is going to succeed. So get your mindset straight, believe in yourself, get online, own that website, make it yours, own that property. And if you need anything, reach out to me. I do offer the one-on-one coaching. I'm the I am in the Eastern time zone. And so all of my coaching is Eastern time zone. I will do my best to work with you in your time zone. I'm sure we can come up with something. All right, guys, it's sewpreneur.com. And if you get lost online looking for me, just type in stephaniegrams.com. I have my one page portfolio up, it's running. All the links are there on how to reach me. And I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.